One of the more challenging moments when you're trying to learn code isn't something that's talked about a lot. And it's not when something breaks and you have to try to figure out what you've done or you run into a bug that you may not be familiar with. But it's actually that moment when you don't know, when you have to figure out what to do next. You see, at this point, you don't have a tutorial, you don't have a checklist. There's no step-by-step path telling you what to do. It's just you and a blank decision that you've got to kind of figure out what to do next in order to complete the task or to solve the problem. And if you've ever reached this point, I understand how uncomfortable this can feel, because all of a sudden that learning isn't guided anymore and it feels less supported. And you start to feel as if you're out on the island and you have to kind of figure some things out on your own. You see, early on, learning is structured, right? You know what to type. You have a tutorial that'll help you. You can always hit rewind, go back to it. There's an instructor. There's usually a peer classmate that you can reach out to. You usually have support. And during this process, everything is safe. But eventually that structure, that support is going to start to dwindle down, and you're going to find out quickly that the decision is going to be left up to me. And if I don't make the right decision and I don't get things done, then the project is going to fail. You see, usually you find yourself finishing a course, you complete a tutorial, you understand the basics, everything is all good. And then now the question becomes, what should I do next? That question sounds simple, but it carries an emotional weight that not a lot of people are prepared for. And if you aren't prepared for it, you can find yourself in a situation where you fail at finishing the project at hand, or you step away from coding altogether. So now the question is, why does this feel so hard? This phase is challenging because you've lost that external validation. Within a class or a tutorial, anytime you finish something, there's usually someone there to pat you on the back. There's some form of celebration. You're getting a high five or a great grade from the professor, or the project actually works, right? Now this progress is undefined because you're no longer in that phase. Start to kind of question yourself, because you're at a point where you're running a risk with your brain where it's kind of saying, hey, what is the right thing to do? What if I choose the wrong thing to do? Am I wasting my time? What if I'm learning this wrong? What if I never finish this and I don't pan out to get this done and I never do anything that I said I was going to do? This is a mindset shift that you have to be prepared for. And unless you know how to embrace this and work through it, you could find yourself in a very uncomfortable circumstance if you don't work through it the right way. So, in this journey, this mindset shift has to happen. And here's the phase that you have to be in survival mode for. You stop asking questions of, hey, what's going on? And you start asking, what do I do next? Having that guidance is something that you're used to, but you're not going to have anymore. So how do you move forward without the guidance? When there's no one else to call upon and ask what to do next, it's basically your job to finish out this project. When no one is telling you what to do next, your job is to find the best, most efficient next step to get the job done. And usually in that, you want to start with the smallest, honest problem first, and then kind of work backwards or work to completion from there. In this transition or in this process, you generally want to find the slightest, most uncomfortable thing, something that might not be very clear to you, or something that you don't fully know how to solve just yet. This is that level of discomfort that you really have to embrace, because learning without guidance isn't necessarily about being correct. It's more so about making the right decision in order to get the job done that you ultimately set out to do. Putting myself in your shoes, this was one of the hardest transitions for me, because I kept looking for that next tutorial. I kept trying to find something that had the exact stack, had the exact issue, or the closest issue to what I was experiencing, looking for guidance. And eventually I kind of realized that, hey, it just may not exist. That's why this is unique to me. And I'm going to have to dig in, really spend some time, break this thing down into smaller steps, and figure out the best path and most efficient steps to move forward. And I get it. It's scary. It's uncomfortable. It's something that you're not used to, because this is probably your first time learning the code and the first time that you've branched out to do something that you've never done before. But I promise you, if you stick with it, break it down into smaller parts, and actually finish the task at hand, you're going to be a much better developer, and more importantly, a much better person due to that perseverance that you actually had in this process. You know, honestly, what you're learning in this phase is how to break larger problems down into smaller ones. Decide what matters now versus what matters later. How to move forward without clarity. You know, these skills that you're developing are going to not only help you get the job done right now, but more importantly, it's going to help you become a more efficient developer down the road. And ultimately, this level of comfort, confidence, and momentum will only help you get through the larger tasks and larger projects as the things you're asked to do increases in complexity. So now the question is, why do people get stuck in this phase? Why do people get stuck here? You know, most people don't get stuck because they learn alone. They just expect to get clarity too soon. You know, a lot of the times where we want what we want when we want it, we're a microwave society, if you will. You can watch TV content on demand. But when you're learning to do something, that's not always the case. You're not going to always get what you're looking for when you want it, how you want it, immediately when you expect it. Sometimes that's going to require a journey in order to get a resolution. And you just have to be prepared to work through that and not allow this discomfort or lack of clarity to discourage you and to walk away. So start to reprogram your mind to think a little differently. You know, be prepared to delay that gratification and to not have the immediate answers that you're looking for. You know, this transition doesn't necessarily mean you're moving from being taught or you're not able to learn. It just means that you have to be prepared to be uncomfortable, embrace a different perspective and a way to learn, and understand that, hey, not everything is going to be handed to me. Some things I'm going to have to delay the gratification on. I'm going to have to work through, and I may not be able to resolve this right now, but I'm going to continue to break this down into smaller steps so that, hey, once I do have a resolution or as I'm solving things, I'm working towards solving the bigger issue. Now, I'm not necessarily saying to just sit there, be stuck and stewing your own mess, if you will. Utilize resources to help you once you've hit a brick wall, but don't rely on those resources to get you through every issue that you come up with. Utilize Google, utilize a peer, utilize someone that might be in a more tenured or senior role so that they can kind of help you work through it. Utilize AI. Don't allow it to write everything for you, but as you've broken something down into smaller steps, utilize it to help you get through it. If you're trying to integrate a payment gateway in an application, you know, start small. How do I install it? What is the appropriate route? How am I going to trigger this? How do I connect this application to the payment gateway? How do I listen for a successful payment? How do I let the customer know that the payment was successful? You know, all of these are smaller steps to a larger process of collecting a payment. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, break it down into small incremental steps. Leverage the documentation, leverage resources, but make sure that you have a clear understanding of what it is that you're trying to do and mentally be prepared to struggle and to work through a resolution and not have an immediate answer at once. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to give me a like and consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments the last time you struggled with learning something new. What was your approach in order to get it done? I'd love to read all about it. See you in the next one.